Yesterday was a lot of fun. It's nice to finally see some more green in the crypto market, some more extended runs around the space. But I will say right now, ADA's at a pretty critical point of resistance. We're going to find out whether we're going to get rejected like we've done several times before at these levels, or are we going to make a bigger extension? We're going to talk about that and more in this video. We need to discuss the BTC all-time high. We need to talk about institutional money, something on the institutional front for Cardano and ADA as well. All that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So ADA right now is sitting right on the edge of its trend that it's had all the way since back here in March. You guys can see several rejections. We almost had a breakout here in May, but got pushed back down, and now this is our moment. We're going to find out whether we're going to get round two here, a round two extension, or if we're going to get pushed back down and need to putz around just a little bit before trying to confirm something much bigger. What I will say here is when we've had these breaches of these 20-day moving averages that you guys can see that we did yesterday, they usually lead to some pretty nice runs for ADA. You guys can see the one here in April, for example, led us on a 16% one. The run here in May actually led us on a 25% run, and so on and so on and so on. Right? We even had some of these moves back here in the early part and middle part of January. But the big thing we're focusing on and trying to do is what we did in November. We're trying to get retail throughout the space to all move together to make one big swift push that creates liquidations, that creates optics, that gives a lot more confidence to the money sitting on the sidelines, and lastly, that can trigger adoption. That can get us to that exciting alt season that we've been talking about and waiting for. I do have to say we did actually get all the way up to 64 cents yesterday for ADA. If you guys remember, we were talking about 62 to 64 cents being that level that we really do have to breach, and then really above there, guys, 68 cents. Above 68 cents is kind of no man's land for ADA. Thin levels of liquidity. That's where you're going to see a lot more confidence in terms of the charts. And that's where we have the chance to really make some more extended moves. Now, what I will say is that BTC setting a new all-time high yesterday, great sign. Love to see it. There's a lot of confidence in the market right now, especially for BTC. And what we really need to make sure we do here is do not create a double top in terms of Bitcoin. Guys, this all-time high yesterday, 112.17 versus 112.6. So you're talking about $11 extension above the prior all-time high. So double top right there before a retrace and retest this 20-day moving average would not be insane. But obviously, we just want that momentum to just continue carrying in the market. What I do want to say here is that BTC dominance is making some great moves right now. Even though BTC didn't get that much extended, alts are showing a lot of strength. And right now, what we saw is exactly what we needed to see in terms of BTC dominance. Nice breach, nice extension below this 50-day moving average. And we just need more now, right? We need bigger candles like we were seeing back here in the early part of May, because we don't want to obviously create this little bitty extension and a rally all the way back to our trend up to about 65%, 65.7% or so. Now, what I really will say again here is we do have to get down past this 20-week moving average. That's the big one, 63.5% at the time of filming this video. That's where we need to breach, because we could be talking about November type moves around the crypto space. Now, this isn't to guarantee your financial advice or anything like that. I do have to say, again, there's a lot of things working in our favor. We're starting to see a lot of that capital on the sidelines re-enter the space, breakouts in the total market cap of crypto, the total 2, the total 3, everything's just kind of working out exactly as it needs to right now. Now, I will say, in terms of that ETH BTC chart, I hate to keep looking back at this because, again, it just tends to give you kind of PTSD, but just pay attention to what we did back in 2019. All right, not saying this has to happen again. Just be aware that this possibility is there. However, there are some pretty big things happening for Ethereum right now. In fact, when we take a look at institutional money here, yesterday was another nice day in terms of spot Bitcoin ETFs. You guys can see $218 million added on the Bitcoin side. On the Ethereum side, we actually had $211 million added. So it's not very often that these days are that close together. This day for Ethereum is actually, I believe, the third largest day here in 2025. So that's definitely something notable. But what I would pay attention to here as well is we look at what BlackRock is doing. $125 million worth of BTC bought $158 million worth of Ethereum bought. So we're starting to see a lot more interest in Ethereum. A lot more big players starting to do their accumulating there. And guys, this is what typically leads us to these alt seasons. This is typically what leads to altcoin extension. So we're kind of at that point where maybe, just maybe, this can turn into a much bigger move, which I'm sure everybody would get very, very excited about. That's if you guys can't tell, I'm trying to cautious optimism here. That's the best way to describe it. Now, this did come out yesterday that the Cardano Foundation and Anzins partner with Cypher BC, serving 330 plus institutional clients with its wallet solutions powered by multi-party computation across 89 plus protocols, unlocking large capital, new users, and new markets. ADA, IAG, MinSwap, and USDA are now integrated. So bringing that to institutional clients, I think is a pretty big deal. We're on the verge of obviously big institutional money for ADA anyways, via the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund conversion to a spot ETF product, via a spot ETF product likely being approved in 2025 for ADA and the Grayscale one in general. Losing my train of thought there. So again, we're seeing a lot of great things taking place right now. I really hope it continues. Something I just want to reference here too. Binance founder CZ says, I hope you bought the dip. He's had a pretty good track record of calling bottoms, calling tops, and you know, if he's saying, I hope you bought the dip, well, I hope everybody took advantage of the opportunities that have been there, because if you haven't noticed, we're slowly but surely running out of that time to accumulate in lower levels. This is what I've been saying for a long time, and people thought I was crazy and said I didn't know what I was talking about, and we were going to 30 or 40 cents. Well, the problem is there's just so little assets to go around right now. You're fighting against a lot of people to get your position. So something I did want to show you as well is I still do have my ADA long position open. It's actually up, 99% right now after I opened that up the other day. My BTC, my SHIB long position is open as well. That's up about 38%. Again, if you guys do want to obviously utilize leverage, there are links in the description below for you for BTCC and Margex. Understand that there is risk that comes with leverage. You can earn up to $10,000 in deposit and trading bonuses. So feel free to check that out if you guys would like. But appreciate you guys as always. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. I think we're on the verge of something potentially big. We got to break about 114K in terms of BTC. I think that can really open up the door for some really exciting things moving forward. So have a great day. Share your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.